Hey everyone, it's Clint. Welcome to Sweetcast. And there's been a lot of stuff going on. I've been debating if I should just full on, head on make videos on politics, and I don't know. I'm still really unsure about what direction I really want to take as far as YouTube goes and as far as everything goes. Ultimately, I want to make comics. And when I first saw that Comicsgate existed, that there were like-minded people that were fed up with the way that the culture was going, and having literally no control or no influence in within entertainment. I was pretty excited just to see that there was an alternative. I've been getting a ton of emails lately, not just email. So it's been emails, it's been messages on. I got a message on through the Indiegogo campaign. I got DM groups. So I'm in several DM groups, and I can see this conversation happening. And that is, are you going to quit Twitter? Or eventually Twitter's going to quit you. And then where do you go? Now, I've been thinking about quitting Twitter for, I don't know, maybe like a year. It's been really tough to see how helpful Twitter is and how hurtful Twitter is. As if, depending on what your goal is. If your goal is to fight a culture war, maybe Twitter's a battleground for that. Maybe there are some other battlegrounds, maybe some more important battlegrounds, honestly, that, the important ones, though, you're really already being gate kept out of. So there's that. But an entire medium, I looked here on Twitter and I searched make your own comics, bigot. And I found a tweet. The first thing that comes up is a tweet from me from 2018. So it's SJWs. Why don't you just go make your own comics? Hashtag Comicsgate makes their own comics. SJWs say, bigot, you're a gatekeeper. And that's because there's no, it's false. I've been seeing this meme going around saying, why don't you just go make your own solar system? Because the whole Parler incident where, they're, okay, you're not allowed to be on social media and have a political opinion unless it's the correct opinion. Okay. Unless it's the approved opinion. So what do? Go to Parler. There you go. You're safe there. No, they will shut down Parler. You're not allowed to talk to each other unless you have the correct opinions. Where can you talk? I don't know. Where can you make comics? Remember, this is how it started. A couple years ago, everyone was saying that. They were just saying, well, just make your own comics. Don't criticize the comics that exist in mainstream media. Make your own. And so a lot of people are doing that to some very good success, and I want to keep making more comics because I've always wanted to make comics. It's fun. But knowing that you're making it to only potentially appeal to half the population is so strange. And it's not that my comics are made that way. It's that this is the current social landscape. This is how it works. Even if you're working in mainstream comics, you have to believe that you're only making it for half of the audience. And they've made comics specifically to pander to half the audience. And that's initially how all this started. But so I don't know. The question is, how far do you go into making your own thing? Because do they allow you to make your own thing? I don't know. I kind of think you should ride the wheels off of it, I guess. Make your own thing. Make them overstep their boundaries. They've always said, like, it's only controlling Twitter. It's only controlling, we have these rules or how to be civil, online. We've got rules for that. Well, then test them. Make your own thing, I guess, and see how far that'll last. So I've been seeing this sort of spill over elsewhere, and I suspect there's going to be more of this. This is, maybe you've seen this, Run, Hide, Fight. This is a new movie that Ben Shapiro's company, The Daily Wire, made. I have to say I was pretty shocked that he got into entertainment. The more I thought about it, though, I guess it makes sense. There's an audience for it when comics is really is the predictor for everything else. It's upstream. There's a reason why they say, well, comics are good for making movies of afterward. It's the think tank. Well, it's also a political think tank. It's where they try out more extreme things and then later they move to film. And you're starting to see that in film now. We'll see how far it goes though, because they have to make everything palatable to China, which is the weirdest political stance for any of this. how do you how do you do that? I don't know. Anyway, so here's that. So what's the solution? I think it's difficult for me to say that I'm going to go to. I've heard of a few. So there's Parlor, but that's gone. There's Gab, but that apparently people have problems with. There's one called something Clout, Social Clout, something like that. There's so many. Doesn't Dave Rubin have one too? Some kind of social media platform he has as well. It's just endless. So what happens is then you've got a fracturing of the audience. The goal is though is to meet the audience where they're at. Really, that's my goal as in creating content, creating comics. You want to find people where they're at and provide them with what they're looking for. What I don't want to do, or what I don't think is the right move, is to try and encourage people to migrate to one place. I want to see what wins the popularity contest and sort of go from there. That's what it's about, because it is social media after all. So I think the solution to all of this is going to actually be the opposite of moving to one place, unfortunately. Because eventually, if one place becomes popular enough, you're going to have to keep moving. They shut down Parlor because it was popular, not because people don't send, the hypocrisy. Gmail, Google owns Gmail, right? How much has been sent through Gmail messages? How many horrendous things, terrible speech, racist things, whatever, even worse, terrible things have been sent through Gmail message? But they're not going to police or shut themselves down. It's just hypocrisy. So, so what's the example then? Is it's kind of like you have to scatter. You have to go out onto your own little islands and do stuff. I don't know how well this is going to work, but for example, Alterna Comics has a website. Yes, you can buy Downcast right now. I think he's getting it back from the printer, I would think, any day now. So Downcast, you can get, check it out, back it, or not back it, just buy it. It's only $1.99. Might as well pick up a few books. They've got a bunch of new books coming out. But from there is making your own websites safe. And it depends on where your servers are run, I guess. But ultimately, I think there's actually safety in spreading out. There's also, but then that presents the difficulty of how do you be discovered if you're spread out? How do you stay connected? The only reason anybody knows about me is because of YouTube, is because people frequent YouTube and I'm able to make videos there. So if you leave and you go off and you build your own island, how are people going to discover you? This is such a difficult thing to deal with. And not only is it difficult, but it's something that mainstream comic book creators, anyone else in indie comics, doesn't have to worry about. If your politics are out there, if you don't agree full-throatedly with the current political powers, then what you're always going to be afraid that your business is going to be dismantled. Your website could be taken down. You can't process credit cards. And I realize I'm not the most vocal and outspoken. I try to live by the general rules, but I also want to have an opinion. I'm not sure how far all this is going to go, but the principle still stands, is that if you can't exist in the same spaces, as long as you have a political opinion that they don't agree with, where can you exist? So yeah, I guess that's the question. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Appreciate you for watching. Check out Downcast. You can get it on alternaaccess.com. I've got the link in the description below. And where do you go from here? Is making your own media and entertainment the answer? And if so, how does culture have to change to be able to find these little niche sites that aren't depending upon these big corporations? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.